Hello, everybody. This is CJ Wiley with more adventures on the road. I wanted to take a couple minutes. I've released my Shooter Dare rules and the game that I've been talking about for a long time. The game is the teacher. Now you know what game I'm talking about. Shooter Dare, baby. It's like Truth or Dare, but on a pool table. And I'm getting a lot of questions. It's not a difficult game at all. I said it takes 10 minutes to learn and a lifetime to master. And back on the road in the 80s and early 90s, 70s, that was kind of before my time, but everybody that gambled played two-shot shootout. They also called it push-out, roll-out. We used to joke around with people and call it two-shot roll-around. Just joking with people. That's when we used to go up and say, me and my partner will play you and your partner some partners. Partner. That was one of the best ones. We could always get a partners game. Even to this day, I was out with Strong Arm John the other night, and he got us a partners game, which is always fun because one of us can stall and the other one can, run the balls, and we both move really well, and people are in an incredible trap. We just do it for fun, It's not, we were playing like $10 a man, or I think we played one game for 20. People just don't gamble like that anymore. So, at least not like they used to, or we could go in any bar and get $20 partner action. And we could make $500 or $600 a day just playing partners. But the rules that we played was push out. So, and we played, of course, loser racks. Winner breaks, but even the greatest breakers in the world were only making a ball like 70% of the time. I mean, if you didn't break really good, you were just going to make a ball like 50% of the time. Nowadays, if you haven't noticed, it's pretty much 100% of the time. I was at a tournament here in Louisiana, and Roberto Gomez was playing Federer Gorst, and about halfway through the match, he broke and didn't make a ball. And I could tell by his reaction that, it was like a complete shock to him. So I was standing next to this guy and I said, man, I would bet you right now that's the first time he hasn't made one on the break this whole tournament. And this was like the semifinals or quarterfinals. So he played a lot of matches, probably 10 matches or so. One time he didn't make one on the break, and he acted like it was a horrible thing. And as he was, so he was walking by us. They took a break right then. And as he was walking by us, I said, Roberto, come here a second. He goes, hey, what's up? I said, how many times have you not made a ball in the break this whole tournament? And he said, that was the first time. The guy I was with, I said, see, I told you. I said, you really don't want to bet on me or with me on stuff like this, but it's total common sense. The rack mechanic part of the game is just something I know how to do it, and sometimes I show people. I just don't like it. It feels like I'm disrespecting the game to manipulate the rack, but there's no rules against it, so I'm not saying it's cheating. It just shouldn't be in the game. And that's why, one of the many reasons that I created this Shooter Dare, because it takes out all those things that cause controversy and that you could cheat at or, get over on, or it's aggravating or annoying, or, we don't realize how much of the game of nine ball right now just causes anxiety between the kicking and the jumping and the breaking and the racking and the, oh my God, man. I absolutely won't play nine ball for money unless, I can't even imagine playing, a player that plays like my speed, nine ball, gambling, because they're going to want to rack their own balls and they're going to, fix the rack, and then they get their, anyway, I don't want to go into that. I want to talk about the positive things about Shooter Dare. It's a 6-ball game, and the reason it's 6 balls is, there's, like everything about this game, there's several reasons that I, because I put together a formula and put the whole game of pool in a formula. And my only outcome was to generate the most entertainment, excitement, and strategic battles between the two players for the first shot. The shot making, that's what's exciting to watch. Is the shot making has went down a lot since my time because players just play safe instead of shooting the hard shots, and the percentages say that's the way to do it. When I first came out on the pro tour, see, I'd been playing this 2-shot shootout. So Efren was one of my first matches, and I beat him like 11-7 or something. Then Earl Strickland, I beat him like 11-8. And Rempe and LeBron, I ended up fourth in my first professional tournament in Toronto, Canada. But I was playing a different game than they were. See, I was shooting these 3-way shots all the time, and they were ducking. So, and playing safe is what I mean. Because even if you play a great safe against a champion player, the chances that we kick the ball and get safe or make it or give you a worse shot than you had before is pretty high. Especially with 3-cushion billiard players like Efren. He kicks really well. He hits the side of the ball he wants to with the speed that he wants to. And that's really the key to kicking is hitting the right side of the ball with the right speed that gives you the greatest percentages of getting safe and generally getting one ball to the end rail or ideally you want both balls close to the opposite end rails, that distance in case you do give them a shot, you still want it to be a long shot. But in Shoot or Dare, we took the breaking and racking out of it. So the loser always breaks. The loser always racks. See, I'm already brainwashed by what we're doing today. The winner always breaks. The loser always racks. But the loser always has the option after the balls are broke, which we call a shuffle, because we're really not trying to break hard and make balls on a break, because you don't shoot after the break anyway without having the dare or the push out first. So you always start the game with 6 balls. So if you make a ball in a break, you just spot it up. You make 2 balls in a break, you spot one on the head spot and one on the foot spot. If you make 3 balls on the break, you just re-rack them. Because it's not about that. It's about spreading the balls, giving yourself a new situation every time. I don't care how many times you break those balls. You put the 6 in front, so you're not even trying to hit the 1. I did that to communicate every time that you're not going to break and run out. Because that, it's a good part of the game if you want to play 9-ball, but even there, they're playing alternate breaks where you can't run racks. So, that's brutal too. Everybody loves seeing the 6-packs, 6 racks in a row ran. I used to run 5 racks in a row just about every day practicing, and I've ran, I don't know how many of them in gambling matches, a lot. But playing alternate break, man, that just takes the fun out of it. To tell you the truth, then, wiring that ball. So, Shoot or Dare doesn't have those things that cause anxiety. So the breaking and racking is not a factor. So the first player that pushes out. So let's say that I lose the last game. I rack the balls. You break. And you make one on the break. It spots up. And then I have the option of either pushing out or making you push out. So let's say I push out, that I see a shot that I think I can make that you can't, or I see something that you might not know. I'll push the shot out. This is where the game begins. And on the push out, I can make one on the break. I can make one on the push out. Like, let's say the 1 ball's hanging after the break. Well, I would probably want to make that 1 ball and position the cue ball so that the 2 ball is the first shot of the game. So, that is a factor. You can make a ball on the push out. You can move the balls a little bit on the push out, strategically if you want. So there's it's infinite, the strategies in Shoot or Dare. So then if I push out and you take the shot, then you're trying to make that ball get position on the next shot, and you shoot them in rotation. It's just like 6-ball, just like 9-ball. So if you shot the 1 ball, you'd be playing shape on the 2. But at the same time, you're using other balls on the table as blockers so that you're playing safe too. So that's a three-way shot. Two-way shots, you're usually just you're shooting a shot and playing safe at the same time. Now, one pocket brings up these three-way shots quite a bit, but it's still, there's too many safety shots. You know, the game just isn't exciting enough to get it back on TV. And that's what I'm trying to do. I did a lot of TV events back in the 90s on ESPN, and I did my own productions of some on Fox, Sports Southwest, and the game can get back on TV. It's just who wants to bet their money on putting a game of 9-ball on there, and you can't use one pocket or straight pool or bank pool or anything like that because it's just too boring, really, for people that don't really understand the game of pool. This game I'm talking about is a little bit complicated at first just because the pocket zone you're not used to and a couple of these rules, but it only takes 10 minutes to learn, but a lifetime to master because of the infinite amount of strategies. So how the pocket zone works, like if you're shooting that first shot, you have to either make that shot to continue shooting, or you have to get it in the pocket zone, which is a diamond on either side of the pocket you're shooting. So you can't miss the ball by more than a diamond. If you do, it's a foul. Now that foul isn't ball in hand. There's no ball in hand in this game except behind the line. And that line is the head string line. So it's 2 diamonds up straight across the table. You can't go past that line and the ball spots up. So if you shoot the shot and you don't get it in the pocket zone, your opponent can either shoot it from where it lies and run out if it's an easy shot especially, or if they don't have a shot, they can have you spot that ball and you get ball in hand behind the line. So the spot shot comes back into pocket billiards. That used to be a huge shot. I've practiced thousands of spot shots because I had to not only be able to make them, but I had to be able to get the cue ball anywhere on the table when I did. That takes a lot of skill, you know, and they took that shot completely out when they changed it to 1 foul. All of a sudden you can just put the ball anywhere you want. That's, looking back, it's crazy. You know, they just wanted to speed up the game and put more luck into it because they didn't get paid by the hour, the people that really did this. I know them. I've done business with them back years ago. And I was okay with that, with the tournaments, you know. I mean, but the gambling part, gamblers would not play 1 foul. They'd say, I'm not kicking at my money. Are you crazy? So back to the pocket zone. All it is just you got to hit the rail between the pocket and 1 diamond out. So if you're shooting at the side pocket, 1 diamond on either side of that side pocket is the pocket zone. And if you look at the rules and stuff at www.shooterdare.com, or we have a Shooter Dare Facebook page now that I just started yesterday. I actually put that together 7 years ago. So I've been working on this game a long time, and I almost had it where I could release it to the public 2 different times. One time I had a billionaire involved with me, and just some crazy things happened. I mean, I've thought at times pool's cursed because you guys know what happened with the Earl Strickland run 11 racks in a row when I put up the $1 million through that insurance company back in the 90s, 96. Earl did it the first day, 7.8 million to 1, and he did it the first day. Now that would have gained momentum. But again, looking back, 9-ball was not the game to put on TV. It's a great game when it's played in the purest form, but you know, the loser has to rack. You just can't make it where you make a break, one on the break every time, or that's like just taking the break in the first shot. So as you play Shooter Dare, I would say if you play this game 5 hours, you know, over the course of 2 or 3 days, if you want. If you're playing with somebody that really wants to get better, that plays close to your level, or even better, you want to play with better players. If somebody plays Shooter Dare with me for 3 days, I'll say this. If we played every day for 3 days, and I might offer this as a training thing if people want to do it, I mean, I'll guarantee their game will go up at least a ball, probably more. But when they get through with that 3-day let's just call it like a boot camp, And that has been suggested to me by another world champion player that I played this game, and they said the only way they could beat me is to go to a 3 or 4 day clinic and have me show them all the tricks to how to do the three-way shots and the techniques for making the long shots. And of course, I've been teaching high-level fundamentals for a while, like how to center behind the ball where you're shooting every shot like you're shooting a pistol, right out of the center of your chest, center of your vision. That's what I do. That's what other champions do. They might not be aware of it, and probably, it's not hard to do, but it's hard to teach, actually. It takes me about 3 hours to be able to teach someone, and it'll take them about 2 or 3 weeks before it's natural. But when that happens, they'll have a foundation. They can improve playing the game of pocket billiards for the rest of their life, especially playing shoot or dare, because it's going to bring out so many situations that you've never seen before, that you'll get to practice and play. And then when you go back and do play 9-ball in your favorite tournament or against somebody you've been struggling with to beat, you're going to have a huge advantage. Like, I've been playing this game lately with some people, and my game, man, I'd forgot how how good your game could get playing the 2-shot shootout, and of course, guys like Keith McCready and Buddy Hall. I saw Keith say that when they changed the rules, his game went down the 7-ball, which is a significant decrease. And I can relate to that, and so can Buddy Hall and a lot of the older time champion players. Man, it took a lot of our knowledge away from us, about 70%. I'd say I could win a pro champion level tournament using 30% of my knowledge as long as my break was working really well. Man, if I break and get on the 1 every time, I'm not playing my best or to my highest level. But if I break and get on the 1-ball every time, there ain't anybody in the world who can beat me playing 9-ball. And that goes for you too. If you play like close to my speed, even a 700 Fargo rating guy, if he's breaking real good and getting on the 1-ball, he can beat champion level players. And he can play in shoot or dare too, but it's going to be a lot more difficult. He's going to have to know, the knowledge level is going to have to be a lot higher. So anyway, I hope that answers a few of your questions. I've been getting several. I'm going to show this game. We're videotaping one tomorrow. We're waiting on an overhead camera that we're trying to get. The first one wasn't quite right because we're wanting to produce these events really well too, and cutting edge. My partner's a computer expert and marketing, advertising. He does a lot of commercials and has done a lot of TV events. We're going to put this back on TV. I want you to share my shoot or dare material if you can with your friends. And I'm not making any money off this. I just want to introduce the game, and then I do want to put on tournaments and leagues and stuff like that. And of course, it's good to get compensated, but that's not my incentive. I was taught a long time ago that money must be a result, not an incentive. My incentive is to bring back the highest level of pocket billiards for the world to see. The result is, I'd like to be successful, but I want to see a lot of people successful. I want to see the younger generation getting a chance to play on ESPN and making $1 million a year. That can happen, and I believe it will happen. But not if we don't make some changes. If you want to change the game, you got to literally change the game. And that's what we're doing. And I appreciate your help. I really do. This is a grassroots thing. I don't have millions of dollars to promote this, but I'm going to spend everything I've got, and that's all I can do. Anyway, till next time, this is CJ Wiley, and the game is the teacher. Now you know the game. Shoot or dare.